Then I'm going to go through my fly tan station and hopefully find some tips along the way. So this is my main storage, which is, it's a writing bureau. So yeah, a lot of anglers use them for fly tan tests. They're very useful and have wee bits of storage dotted around the place as well. But I'll go through it all. So first of all, I'll just open this up. Okay, so I need to hold this drawer to hold this up. Okay, so now I have our main area. So I have this. I actually have a video on this. This is my fly tan bench within a bench, really. I can use this when I'm watching TV, tying up a few sets and stuff like that there. That's my face as well, so an Atlas anvil face. One of many face, but I think that's one of the best ones I have. I can store my flies in here, and I can also store the likes of, let's see, bobbins and stuff in here. So that's handy if I'm doing a bunch of flies. And then I can watch TV and things like that there. It also means I can move this. So I use this when I'm tying my videos, doing my fly tan videos. So I can lift this and bring it in somewhere for a bit better light. Okay. So I'll just move this out of the way. Try not to rack it. And then this is the main tools. Loads of tools throughout, but that's the main tools that I use. Needle, scissors, couple of pair of scissors, whip finish, bobbin, and then tweezers as well. I'm actually going to do a wee video on those tools soon enough because I've got a few requests about essential tools. Have the flies as well, so people can get bogged down in too many flies. I probably have about half a dozen that I use mostly, which is mainly crystal flies, with a wee bit of ripple flies as well. Then I have in here, I have some permanent markers, so they're really handy for, say for example you have a head that you've got, like say you're tying a red head, but you've got the black of another feather coming up or so. Sometimes I can actually put a permanent marker over it and then varnish to seal it, so it gives a nicer head. But again, it's just for aesthetics. Have a wee bit more extra flies there as well, and this is just needles for doing heads. So I know I have the bobbin there, but this is really good for wee fine heads as well. Here, this is a wee storage tip. So I use these. I have quite a few of them. You can see on both sides of the bench. They're really handy for storing hooks, for storing beads. Let's see, for storing tubes. What else do I use them for? For storing cones, and even part-made bodies as well. So that's a few flies I've tied up in batches to finish off. So put those aside. And then the centre part is really my threads, my tensils, and my flosses. So mixture of different flosses, each to their own, some fluorescent, some not fluorescent, but I keep my most popular ones that I use up at the front, and then I have some spurs in the back here as well that maybe don't get used too often. Like there's white fluorescent floss. I don't think I've used that in a good few years since I was tying rainbow trout flies. Then the central part is I have a mixture of tensils, flat tensils and braided tensils, and then also wires as well. So there's a lot more tensils as you can see, and then these don't really store the same way, but I also have loads of rows of these. This is silver and gold wire. This is a lot better than the fly tan wire, and it's a lot cheaper. I get about 5 spools of those for about £6 or £7, so really good value for money. I'm not prone to any brand as well, so you can see there's loads of different brands as well. Okay, and again, see these holders. They are basically just bits of strip wood, and I put in some wooden dowels, similar to the fly tan table or fly tan tray that I showed you earlier. And then in the bottom I have threads, so a mixture of fluorescent. The main thread I would use is black, white and orange, or black, white and red, but I also have them in different sizes as well. So you have right down to 16.0 for doing like the size 18 micro flies and stuff. And then in the back there I have, I'll just move this, you'll see other threads as well. And you'll find this throughout the bench. This is just silica. So this is just to try and keep the area nice and dry. And then I have more wire and wee bits of tinsel as well. You probably noticed that I have this. I have pieces of what's this called? This is called lavender. This is dried lavender. I just throw them out. They're meant to be good for keeping insects away. Touch wood, I haven't had any issues to date at this bench, or for several years actually. Here I have some more storage. So these trays that I pulled a few out earlier have a toothbrush, because everyone needs a toothbrush. Really handy whenever you're roughing up feathers, you're mixing fibres, and you're also then drawing back some long lines and stuff like that there. So move that aside. Then I have a hair stacker, a couple of super glues, and then various different varnishes and resin as well. And then hopefully you'll see back there. This is, I'll just get those out. I have to have a bit of a clean up after all this. So I have a few tubes, cones, but also then that's the main attachment that I use for tying my tubes. And then I also have within there, I have another tube device, which is pointless, never really use it. A couple of tubs of hooks in there as well, and then a few lighters and candles. And the reason I use the lighters and candles is for whenever I'm burning the edges of tubes. Instead of lighting the lighter every time, if I'm doing quite a few, I just light a candle and then just keep on going and burning the tubes. So this is the main dish. Then I have a few wee hooks to hang up stuff. So the toothbrush was there, a knife for stripping stuff down, particularly stripping the needle down, but maybe you're stripping a fly down. Another whip finish tool, hackle, pliers, and then my UV torch as well. This is my main area there for stuff, but as you can see, there's no fur or feathers stored here. Okay, so we'll close this up. We'll have a look in our drawers. So we'll start here. So within here you have a mixture of wools, and then I don't really store dubbing the best, but this is a mixture of dubbing, pre-made stuff, and my own ones mixed up as well, and some yarn and stuff like that there as well, Fritz. So more body material. So this is really just body material for this drawer, and similarly for this drawer again. So I have more wool, and then as well as that I have some synthetics as well. So that'd be your light bright, your angel hair, stuff like that there, and even tubing as well, synthetic tubing. And there's even the old squirmy wormies there. So a mixture of just the synthetic body materials in this one. And then this is probably the drawer of shame, because this is all over the place, I'm afraid. But this is mainly the tube tan stuff. So you can see the skull heads, a mixture of junction tube, more miter body, and just loads and loads of tubes, loads of types of tubing, some cones, some pre-made tubes, and some colour tubes. And as well as this, it's a great wee tube tan tool as well. That's for cutting pipe, but it's great for whenever you're cutting tubing as well. It means, especially when it comes to junction tubing, it's really handy because you don't have, it's always a flat cut. You don't have to then change it again. Other stuff I have in here is more tubes, more tubing, and that's a bottle of varnish that I forgot I had, so happy days. We'll close that up. Then we go on to the main stuff here. So the big drawer. Let's see. Okay, so JC, you can guess what this is. Jungle Cock. I use these big massive lunch boxes for storage. And I also use then, just to make sure that it's airtight as possible, I also use elastics. So this is dark and dyed cock hips. So you can see a mixture of the ones. I'm not going to open them all up because I'll spend hours probably cleaning up afterwards. But that's the main capes that I use. This is badger cock. So this is, I think this is natural and dyed capes. Okay, they're well stored tight. Each one of those capes has also got its own bag as well. So it's doubled up really to ensure that there's no risk of insects getting in, or mould or anything else. And again, I have what would I say is the woolly gun colours, probably the capes that I use most. Yellow, red, orange. Yellow, red, orange, yeah. There's no black in there, but there you go. Other stuff I have, so this is just more storage. This fluorescent wool. And within here, I have like an old cigar box with some old tensils and stuff. So if you were 10 classic salmon flies, that's the kind of stuff you'd be using there. And again, similarly, I have some of the old flosses as well. So there's quite a few in here. It's just a wee random box of wee doubles. Making use of the storage, but there's more flosses and silks, threads actually this time. And again, I think mostly hard to do this one-handed, but again they're mainly bobbins. And again, more flosses in there. Loads of silica gel just throughout, because the worst thing you can do, and also then you have your lavender, the worst thing you can do is ruin it all by having dampness. Okay, so I'm just going to clear this, put these back, and we'll go into the next drawer. So this is mainly feather. Okay, so still a wee bit of room for storage there, but you can see I'm maximising the use of it. Okay, then this is another big patch of silica, another tin. I know that's blank, but that's for storage. And then this is some trays, some spare threads as well. So that's your olive and your black. So we use those a bit. And then I have these boxes. Now I got these boxes for about £4 in Home Bargains or B&M Bargains, but they're fantastic because you can actually put these trays in them. So it's really good for a travel box. You just fill up what you can. One box will keep you going if you're going to maybe a show, or if you're going to the likes of, you're going fishing for a week. So, but what I use them for now is a mixture of my furs. So you can see this is all fox, as the label says. And again, they're all well packed. They're all coloured up as well. So I would have like a bag with your oranges and yellows, and a bag of the darker stuff, and then maybe a bag of the natural stuff. So that's how I would do. Then this is your hair and furs that isn't fox. So this could be tanuki, this could be it could be goat, it could be Arctic runner, a mixture of everything really. But again, I'm not going to open it up because it's quite hard to put them all back again, because I want to try and get them as tight as possible. And as well as that, within that I have the boar bristles and stuff like that there, because again, that's still fur and hair, I guess. Then another box. This is all my golden pheasant stuff. So this could be golden pheasant skins, or capes, or tail feathers, crests, some whole stuff, but also a lot more loose stuff as well. So you can see there's the tail at the back. There's actually some regular pheasant there as well within that. Okay, so for this box, that's the main stuff that I use. I would use this 90% of the time of my time. Okay, I also then have another box here, and I acquired a lot of this here recently, but this is some pre-made stuff. It could be pre-organised or pre-arranged feathers. There's a bit of everything there, but again, that's an underbed shoebox that stores that. Then within here I have let's see, rack in the place. Okay, so I have lock flag stuff. So let's see. Yeah, so you can see the partridge, the genetic stuff, guinea fowl, more partridge and stuff. So typically for your wet fly, ice wet fly stuff. And that's a good example of some very old storage. So I acquired that tin. As well as that, then I have some other stuff. So that's like some of my classic salmon stuff, but there's not really much in it these days. And then finally, I have another tin here, and this is just of spare capes. So that's dyed, natural, and olive. And there's some hen. So again, stuff that I don't use too often. So there's no point of taking much space in the main shelves. Okay, then I also have a mixture of magazines throughout the years. Obviously had a lot of dressings in the magazines and some books there as well. I have plenty of other books, but that's the ones that I would use for reference, or else I'm currently reading. And then over here I also have a drawer, tier, shelf thing, whatever you want to call it, for storage. And I also have this as well, so that's more hooks. Again, most of my flies are salmon flies, so most of the hooks are in the shelf there, in the wee boxes. But this is some of the non-popular flies, but it could also be saltwater hooks, it could be red hooks, red solids, they don't get used too often. So yeah, just a mixture of different hooks that wouldn't get used too often. Mainly hooks, I think there's a few Wellingtons and stuff in there as well. Okay, so within here, this top drawer is mainly my pig stuff. So as you can see, these are 3 kilometers, so 3,000 meters each of tinsel that I can tie up and wrap. It's coming really handy for pig flies. I have, it's actually just a local, this is a recent delivery, I just haven't got a chance to put away. I've been able to tie a few flies for it. I have mainly 2 boxes for pig stuff. So this one here is for my hooks, and as you can see there's a few rattles there as well. But within that there is mainly the flicey stuff, and there's some synthetic fur, and then plenty of markers for doing barn. So you can see there. Okay, I'll move this to the side and I'll show you the next one. Mainly that is cankelon, or fake hair, which is basically hair extensions, mixtures of colours, but really good for adding bulk onto a fly, and really quick at shedding water, and therefore easier for casting. Then I have a random box in here which is mainly pheasant. Again, it just fitted in, but this is a non-golden pheasant, so this is pheasant wings and pheasant tails mainly. Okay. This drawer is just odds and ends, so this is helping the storage. So this is small bags, so wee small bags can hold flies if you're posting them, or for dubbing. I have the larger bags here, so this is what I store the capes in before they go into the boxes, and there's 2 different sizes, one for larger capes, one for smaller capes. They're just lunch bags. And then as well as that, I have some envelopes that I put stuff in for storing into the system I was talking about over here. This is the under bed storage. Again, that's the stuff that I would use very, very rarely. Underneath that I have some spare elastics and some more storage. There's those wee tubs, a couple of faces, and some more tools that I don't use too often. So yeah, this is my odds and ends box as such. Okay. Then we have bucktail. So this is the bucktail that I'm using at the moment. Okay, so just set that aside, and this is the bucktail that I wouldn't be using as often, or will replenish the main bag. So it could be less common colours, or else ones that I have a couple already out. So again, mixture of different colours. Well sealed within that, and then I always have a few bits of, if I'm working on a batch of flies, I always have some spare bucktail that's already pre-made, pre-mixed and ready to go. Then the bottom drawer here is, again, this is a mixture of stuff that I didn't know really where to go. I would just put this in as miscellaneous. Okay, then I have some peacock hair as well, some jay. What else do we have in here? Again, just other stuff. That's jungle cock, a few feathers missing of that there, a few other wee things here and there. And then this is natural capes. So there's a lot of white, black, badger, ginger and grizzle. Again, so some of them will need dyed, some of them won't, but that'll help replenish the other bits as well. So it's just making use of them at the time. That's really it. The only thing else as well, as you'll probably know, I like to tie in batches. So around here I have some, this is a mixture of flies with butts already sealed to varnish. There's a batch of parks where all the tails are done to save time. I also have some single Irish shrimp flies as well ready to go. And then I also have 2 of these big tubs here. These tubs are really good for putting in, whenever I'm working on a batch, I actually put in enough in there so I'm not having to go through every drawer every time again. So if I'm working on a batch of flies, I'd do that and it'd save me having to organise it. So there you go folks, that's the fly time bench. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you got a few tips along the way. Any questions, drop us a comment below. Do hit that subscribe button and like button if you haven't already done so. And thanks very much for watching. Until next time, all the best.